thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Melissa with 1S, but you can call me Mel. And today I'm super excited because I'm going to show you an update of my propagations. If you missed out on the video, I did post a video, I think about 2 months ago, on what I was propagating in my propagation container. So I'll leave a link in the description, but also link it at the end of this video if you want to check out what the plants looked like at the beginning when I first cut them and propagated them. So you'll see an update on those. And then also, since I moved into my home, I've added some more propagations because who doesn't love free plants? So I will be also showing you how well they are doing and some of the tips and tricks that I've learned to increase the success rate, and also how to speed up the root development. So I found a little bit of a trick. I mean, I may be old to figuring it out, but I think it's definitely helped with the root growth and how fast I'm seeing results, which is pretty awesome. All right, so to start off, I'm going to show you the first plant, and this is the little happy bean that I revived. If you watch my other video, this guy was so small. He did get root rot because this was one of the first plants that we bought, and I learned my lesson that I don't do well with succulents, but I was able to revive him. He looks a little funny and skinny. When I first bought him, there was about 4 plants in one pot, and I was able to revive this one. There's also a root point, or a root growth point on the side, but it's still attached at the bottom. So if I wanted to, I could propagate this guy and use the little guy on the side, but I like how it looks in this patina look pot. And yeah, so I'm really happy that he survived. All right, so another propagation that's an update is this Sansevieria. These guys grow so slowly, but it's fine, it's rewarding. So if you saw my other video, this guy was a lot smaller, and look at him now. This is the new growth, and then this is the newest growth. This old piece may just die because it's drying out. I can probably take it off, but I don't mind the look of it. So he's also doing really well still. Another Sansevieria that I propagated was this guy. This was more of a fluke, to be honest. I put him in here hoping for the best that he was going to root, and he did. Just because this snake plant did get root rot, and I tried to salvage some parts, and this was one of the parts. So you can see the new growth in the middle. And yeah, so he's hanging in there. And there's another growth point here. So I'm happy that this propagation worked. But again, snake plants take a long time to grow, especially these propagations. But I found a trick for the cuttings and water, and I'll talk about that in a little bit, so stick around. This is another Sansevieria. These two guys I was gonna throw out because they were just small cuttings that fell off of a plant. This guy was drying, so I took him off. But then I'm like, you know what? Let me just plop him in soil, and you see in the middle there that there's a little guy growing. Super cute. And then this guy, same thing, he has a new growth on its side there. So I always say, give your plants a chance. If you're not sure whether or not they're going to survive, just give them a chance, because plants are just so resilient, and I'm just so impressed by them just pushing through and, you know, reviving and providing me with another plant. So these 2 cuttings I was gonna throw out, I plopped them in water and soil, and here I have now 2 little snake plants. And another piece, this was kind of random too, because my mom had a golden pothos plant, and it was just not doing well. It wasn't thriving in its environment, and it got root rot and stuff, but I got a cutting from it. And in my last video, I think he had like 2 or 3 leaves, or even 4. So it's grown this little section here, and as you see, the leaves are getting bigger and bigger, which is what you want. And then it has kind of like that golden fenestration, or that golden look to it, which is really pretty. So yeah, that's another propagation that I showed in my last video. So this one is still thriving and doing super well. All right, so for the next plant is this Jade Plant. Again, I'm gonna repeat myself when I say I'm not good with succulents. I just don't know what it is. Well, I know what it is. I love my plants too much. I like the routine of taking care of them, watering them, stuff like that. So with succulents, I really had to learn to just back the hell off because they were all dying on me. So these two cuttings I got from a plant. Again, the last video I show how small it was, and they've survived and they're growing really well and they're very strong. They have a good root system, and now I have two little jade plants. And if I wanted to, I could split them up, but I don't mind it right now. This guy is kind of hovering over the other, but I could probably take it out. I'm just worried that it's gonna shock the plant. They're doing well here, so I'm not gonna do anything until they tell me otherwise. All right. Okay, and now I'm gonna show you my concoction of cuttings. I have here a bunch of cuttings, and let me tell you, I'm so happy about this because I just started to cut some plants and I just put all the cuttings together, and that is the biggest piece of advice I can give you is mix your plants up when it comes to the propagations. Put more than one together because they just thrive together and the root system is a lot more stronger, I found, when I see them growing together. And also the root progress is a lot faster when they are with other plants. I'm sure there's some form of science or chemical that happens when they're pushing out new roots, and it helps each other out, which I think is so cute that, you know, they're just supporting each other, they're helping each other out. So, you know, can't do it on your own, essentially is the lesson here. So I don't know if my camera guy can zoom into those roots. It's okay if you need to get closer. Can you see that? Or maybe I'll just do a close-up. I'll take a picture if you're unable to see, but look at those healthy freaking roots. I'm so happy about this. It's just a little container and I just change the water maybe once a week and they're doing super well. So what do I have in here, you may be asking? So I have a Scindapsus pictus silverian, just a little cutting with 2 leaves, and it has new growth already. And it has 3 healthy roots. Can you see that? Perfect. I'm gonna maybe let's plop them on top here for a second. And then I have some Brazil Philodendron cuttings. This one's like, holy moly. Oh, and this is a side note, but the reason why I wanted to do this video was because I want to pot these in soil, because you can see here, look at those freaking roots. That's what you want to see, nice, healthy, strong roots. And I want this one to vine. A lot of these leaves are super nice, so I didn't want to cut it too short. So yeah, I want to pot them in soil, which is why I did this video now, before I missed the opportunity to show you. And then these two as well, it may be hard to see, but can you see them here? Nice roots. This one has 3 roots. This one has like 5 or 6, doing really well. This one doesn't have roots because I just put it in here like 2 days ago because I got so excited about all the other roots. Actually, let me take this thing off. Just because like you don't want this to rot in the water. But this one has, remember, cut below the node. This one has 2 aerial roots, so that one will definitely root pretty quickly, I feel, especially because I have all these other cuttings in there. Oh, sorry, and this one is a heart-shaped philodendron, and then most of the other ones are Brazil philodendron. It's one of my favorite plants, to be honest. I mean, you're not supposed to have favorites, but it's hard not to because the Brazil philodendron is just so rewarding, and then it also just has this beautiful foliage, and yeah, I have one that's big on the other side of the room there. Yeah, I don't know if you want to zoom in, but it's one of my beauties. I love it, and it's so easy to care for, which is awesome. Anyways, enough of that. Now, I'm gonna show you another new propagation that I have. So I am propagating a couple of string of hearts. I think there's 3 or 4 cuttings in here. And you can see the new growth already. I think it's been only a few weeks that I put this in soil. What I do is I just spray the top of it and also just spray the sides just to increase the humidity. I leave it in this little Ziploc container. And the soil has mostly perlite and also I think peat moss, I forget. And I just spray it once in a while when I see that it's drying up, but they're all rooting. I'm so surprised because this is the first time I'm doing this. But I'm excited because I just got a string of hearts plant and then I just took some cuttings from it. And now I'm gonna see if I could grow some babies. So that's that. Now for the next few cuttings, I'm actually gonna take you to my plant wall. So just give me a second while I situate myself closer to the plant wall.